back to Don't Fret, Music with Mark. My name is Mark, and you may notice the environment in this video is a wee bit different from priors. That's some intention, and some of it's just life. But I do want to take it as a moment to bring your awareness to where it is that you always play. When's the last time you shook it up? If you always sit in one chair, maybe try another. If you always have the lights on, maybe you could change your lighting up a bit. You could try going outside if you've never done that. The options are endless. Even the subtlest changes can really impact how you hear your music. And listening to your music is what I want to talk to you about today. We've gone through a lot of opportunities for you to learn how to play different things and engage musicality and develop some skills. And it can be so easy when you do that to get focused on your fingers, to get focused on the technical things that you're doing, and you're looking for mistakes and ways to improve. But when you're listening, it's really important to learn how to listen like a friend, not a critic. So if you want to grab your instrument and play along, or just noodle while I talk, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, stay tuned, and hey, we'll get right to it. All right. I know it can be very scary, but there is power in recording yourself. And the best tool for that is right in your pocket, your phone. Now, most phones have like a voice memo app or something, so don't overcomplicate this. The simplest way to record something is probably the best. Especially for you just to record yourself for maybe just 1 minute. Nothing too big. You don't want to be too perfect either. The point's not to do a performance that'll be enduring for generations to come. It's just to play something. Just play something. So pick your most comfortable thing, whatever it is that's really speaking to you right now. Maybe a D chord or a G chord, and you just kind of make it simple, Or maybe it's a piece that you've been working on that you're just going to kind of work through for a bit and record as much of it as you feel comfortable doing. But I do recommend trying to get to at least a minute of recorded time. Give yourself some time to really settle in. And when you get your recording, try not to be too fussy about it. I know this can be really hard, but the idea is just to put your instrument down for a moment, or just to let it sit, and then you're not a player anymore. Sometimes it's helpful to actually just really put it down. Put June down there. Take a deep breath. Whew. You're not a player anymore. Nor are you a critic or a music instructor, any of that. You're just a listener. And with that listener mentality, just grab your recording and push play. And you're just trying to listen without searching for mistakes or ways that you can improve necessarily. It's just try and hold space as a listener, as if you've heard it for the first time, like a friend hands you an MP3 or something, or their phone, say, "I just recorded this. Would you listen to it and tell me what you think?" The kindness and the support that you would show your friend when you're listening, try and find it in your heart. I know it can be hard to show that to yourself. Now, when you're listening, though, it's not just a free listen, although I do recommend doing that if you can. But there are some things you could pay attention to. In particular, I'll call out 3 that have really helped me. One of the questions that I would love to ask myself when I'm listening is, what was the overall feeling? Not how I feel, because honestly, if I'm listening to myself recorded, it's probably the first is uncomfortable, and I'm sure you can relate to that. So take a step back from that, from just the immediate feeling that you've got when you listen, and try and sit with your music. What was it that you were playing? Was it calm? Was it heavy and angry? Was it kind of happy and jumpy? I don't know. You're trying to just pick a feeling that seems to resonate with you. Don't overcomplicate it. But what was the feeling of the music itself? Not so much you, unless it does elicit a strong emotion. But you're searching for something that doesn't interpret your discomfort with the recording itself. But you're just trying to hold that space as if, again, a friend had handed you this recording, and they're just asking, what would you describe the feeling of the music that you heard? You're trying to give them an honest answer. The second thing that I do after what was the feeling, or the overall feeling of what I heard uh, was the rhythm pretty steady, or was the rhythm did it wander, or did it do something else entirely that you find a different word to describe it? But listen to the rhythm of your playing. So, yeah, and it's not to say it always has to be steady. Like this is pretty on tempo-ish, but you can find moments of odd rhythm that really grab you. And so they would call that in music syncopation, when the rhythm kind of skips a beat, maybe. And so there's always a rule in music, like with rhythm, and those rules can always be broken. So when you're listening for rhythm, it's not so much to, again, identify if it was good, bad, on or off tempo, or needs improvement per se. Again, it's just noting it. So what was the rhythm? Would you call it steady? Would you call it fast, slow? Just look for something. It's good to note your rhythm. First, what was the feeling? Second, what was the rhythm? And the third thing is, did I like the sound of that one chord? Now, what is that one chord? So it could be any chord. So many musicians have talked about this idea of music is going somewhere, and there's this chord, there's a moment, in a lot of our favorite songs where it kind of gives you chills. The neck hairs kind of go, whoop, you feel something. And so see if maybe there was a chord that you played that you're like, oh, I really like the sound of that chord or that moment. And so you're looking for a positive moment. What was the peak? what was the best part for you of that recording? Again, it really helps to pretend that a friend has given you this recording. And they're like, what was your favorite part? What was that? And how would you describe that? So first, what was the overall feeling of the thing that you just played? How would you describe it? Second, paying attention to the rhythm. And how would you describe it? And I think it's good to note, was it steady? Not because steady is better, but it just brings an awareness to the rhythm that you're playing and whether you like it or not. And the third thing would be, did I like the sound of one moment? What was the most grabbing chord or moment in the thing? Was it at the beginning, middle, end? Maybe the whole thing, but try and narrow it down as best you can, because those are things that'll really help bring into your awareness what your playing is doing. And it's important to know this recording business, it's not a final verdict on your playing. This isn't where you're going to be forever. It's not going to be a reflection of like how it's going to land for all time. It's just a little bit of data. And what you're trying to find in this moment of listening is compassion for what you're hearing, not critique. Because so often when we're playing, it's easy to get into the critique mode. And you kind of need that sometimes, right? But you get into the critique mode. Okay, my fingers got to go here. I'm not pushing down hard enough. Whatever it is, I have the scale that I need is not moving fast enough, or maybe it's moving too fast. There's so many things that we think that it's off on. So you're just trying to find a moment where your playing can speak to you in a different way. So the data that you're getting, if you want to call it data, is just going to inform your process with kindness. And that, if you can find that mode, is gold. Because the time that you're playing next, you start to develop a habit of listening. Yeah? And that habit of listening brings you places that you never knew you could go. Because the more you can listen, and the more you can listen without judgment, almost like an open palm. Like you got a bird that lands in your palm, you get to observe it, but it might fly away at any moment. It's the same with your music. You don't hold the recording or the thing that you're playing with such intensity that this is where it's gotta go, this is what I gotta do. No, like the open palm, you let the music come and go as it pleases, and you try and observe it with compassion. And that's what this exercise is all about. You listen to yourself, and you try and develop that ear of a positive and encouraging friend. And I promise you, the more that you do that, the more that becomes the norm. It's so easy to be critical of music, especially our own. But when you find that you can bring some compassion and warmth into that equation, it starts to feel a little bit more like a warm hug. To borrow a good friend's phraseology of that. And so I hope this helps you. I know it's helped me, and it's changed how I approach my own playing in so many ways. So if you do have a recording that you want to share with me, I'd love to hear it. There's a community on the Don't Fret with Mark website where I encourage you to share MP3s and files and look for feedback. It's a growing community. You're welcome to go there. I'm active on that community, and I'd love to hear what you're doing. At the very least, I would love for you to leave something in the comments if this practice has helped you, or if you have something similar that you do, or maybe it's really hard to do and it just doesn't work. I would love to hear about that as well. It's all a part of the journey, and I'm here to support you through all of it. I'm so excited that you're here, and I look forward to catching you again next week.